Our great-grandparents came here in the 1860s. They lived on what they called Big Creek. That's where we get our name, is Big, from that creek. Well, my father and I both got back to the home place on the same day in 1946, and we decided that we wanted to do something local. We didn't want to move to the city or anything. We loved this country that we lived in right here, and so we started the company on a very small scale.
My brother and I are probably have been in the lumber business longer than just about anybody. Well, we start in with forestry, where we have registered professional foresters who go out and mark the trees. We've been doing that now for probably more like 50 years. So we're very vertically integrated, but very narrow in what we do. Well, we produce custom beams, large timbers, that sort of thing. In redwood, we also produce decking and fencing, as well as some framing lumber, but it has to be certified specially.
Redwood, it's a fascinating species, and it's a very hardy species. It's limited by its geographic range, but within its ecosystem, it's a very hardy plant, and it survives actually better than most other conifer species. This piece is 35 years old, same species, Sequoia sempervirens. This one grew much faster, and the main difference between these two trees is that this tree got far more sunlight than this one. This was a little tree, started growing up underneath some very large trees, and then when the trees growing next to one another started to shade out, and about 80 to 100 years ago, they cut the big trees around it and left this tree, and with the additional sunlight, that tree grew very rapidly with additional sunlight. This is one of my favorite photos, and I took this photo in 2003. We helicopter logged because the agencies didn't want us to build a road in here. There's some endangered species that we had to be careful to protect. In a selective harvest, you have to be very careful where the trees go, because you've got to get the trees on the ground and not harm the trees you're not cutting, because the trees you're leaving, we call it the leave stand because you're leaving the trees in the woods. The leave stand is our future product. We need to protect this, and it's very challenging as a timber faller or as an equipment operator. We are not allowed to tell the public because we don't want the public out there damaging them. We're also the eyes for the Native Americans. We frequently find these sites that they're not aware of, so that's very helpful for them and their history. So our company was very proud to have our lands be the first redwood forest lands owned by primarily a redwood sawmill to become FSC certified.
Well, I just have a feeling for wood. I enjoy working with it and making things with it. And redwood is so special in that it lasts for such a long time.
I think interest is to see the forest continue indefinitely into the future. So we believe that the redwood forest is well protected under the kind of management that we practice. We have lived in the forest all our lives, and we want to see those trees continue to grow. And look at the forest, and it makes you feel good. It's still beautiful.